Welcome. We're back. Another day in the market. What's up, Big Nate, Medi, Linta Glenn, KTF, Waffle Maker, David, Tenderfoot, Austin, and Neutron in the chat. How's everybody doing? Another day in the market. Pretty good day for really good day for small caps and mid caps. Let's not say pretty. So yeah, we got a lot to talk about tonight. We're going to start off with Bitcoin, then we're going to talk about the overall market. We're getting into like small cap and mid cap earnings. And on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Let me see. 2 p.m. we have an FOMC statement and press conference, and then also an interest rate decision. And then at 2:30, Jerome Powell will speak, who is in the thumbnail of this stream. And tomorrow's pretty much a light economic day, but I'm sure we might see some funny stuff tomorrow. I mean, we're going to be going into FOMC on Wednesday, where everybody's going to be, I think most people have kind of broken it down to either mid-November, mid-December for tapering, if I'm not mistaken. So, or at least the start of it. So I guess we'll kind of get more of an update on that. And maybe tomorrow we'll see how people kind of plan ahead for that. But I also talked about this when the S&P was selling off in September. A lot of that could have been priced in then, but you really can't know until we see, what the decisions are and how people react to said decisions. But we'll get back to the market. Bitcoin, I like it above 59.5K. Obviously, already hit 2 targets of the swing trade. And really not much to talk about. I mean, it broke out of this wedge. I think I charted this on Thursday night, which was the last stream. And it broke out of it. It spent like 2 days back testing it, and then off the previous supply line, flipped demand line at a 4% bounce, and now it's from the 4% bounce, it's fallen another halfway back down, it's fallen 2% down. But you can see, like, look how perfect this is. The supply line was resistance, it broke it on this candle, and then right on this candle it was support, on this candle was support, on this candle was support. So yeah, just another scenario of TA is fake, I guess. But that's Bitcoin for now. I mean, support's 59.5K, then a little bit of support around 57.6K from these candle highs and this candle low, and resistance 65K previous all-time high and 67K current all-time high. That's really it for Bitcoin right now. I'm looking into some stuff. There's been a couple of times this year where I've said that, and I think I've said that a couple times this year on the stream, and I don't think I've ever actually said more than that, because the 2 previous times this year when I was doing a lot of research on whatever it was in the past, it just didn't work out. So I'll say one of them, but back in the summer, I don't know if anybody remembers, I was looking into SPACs for a little bit. I was seeing some interesting stuff, looking at a few different sheets online, and summary, I was completely wrong, so I never really proceeded with talking about it. And right now there's a crypto I'm keeping a very, very close eye on, but I want to learn a lot more. I have a very basic understanding of even the thing that I'm researching, so I'm just gonna leave it at that for now. But I'm thinking about making probably a 45-minute 1-hour video, pretty much while I'm doing the research. I'm just gonna record myself, and I'll try and make it entertaining and whatnot, and that might be out in a couple of weeks. But it's something big. If I'm right, it's something big. I just don't want to give too much away, because the chance of me being right's not amazing. It's a little bit of a reach, but at the same time, I'm gonna stop talking for now. That's how we're gonna put it. It's not has nothing to do with Doge or Shibu or Ethereum or Bitcoin. I'll leave it at that. But let's talk about stocks now. Oh wait, one last thing. If anybody here is very, how do I put this, knowledgeable on reading wallet transactions on the blockchain, and also very knowledgeable in how kind of the business side of NFTs work, reach out to me on Twitter. So yeah, let's talk about the market. Futures are flat right now, and like I already said, we have a FOMC, or an FOMC meeting on Wednesday, and the SPY's continuing to just fly on autopilot. It's pretty amazing. Currently, we are up about almost 7% in 20 days, which historically that just is very insane. So that's not normal by any means. You are not even overbought yet on the S&P 500 on the daily, but you are overbought on the 4-hour. The bearish shark got invalidated. So really there's not, like, I'd say bearish variables, or that to that matter bullish variables either for the overall market. It's kind of neutral from a technical standpoint, other than the trend. Obviously we're still in a bull market, but like I'd say it's pretty neutral at this point. It's just a question of when do things kind of turn around. I'm bullish until I have a reason not to be, and that's just how I've been for like the last week, you know. I mean, I was bullish on this dip, we bounced. I was bullish on this dip, we bounced. I was insanely bullish on this one, and we had a crazy rally, even crazier than I would have imagined off of this one, because of low time frames I was watching. And we also talked about the inverse head and shoulders as it was developing on that right shoulder. And now, you know, we ran up, and honestly, I became bearish around over here when we were at the PCZ of like a bearish shark and whatnot, and that just got invalidated, and I kind of flipped to like bullish in this area, and now I'm just a little bit more neutral. So that's just how I've been like looking at the market. So because we pretty much had mixed earnings, you know, some companies doing well, some companies not doing well. I don't know the actual stats, just from what I can remember. And that's really for the S&P. I mean, short term on the SPY, it's really not easy to get like a really good level. I think probably 454 is like the level you'd want to stay above. It's a previous all-time high, and it was the low from October 27th. And then you just bounced off of it like crazy. So I'd say like 454 is like probably the closest important level for the SPY. And then in terms of Fibonacci, which is pretty much how you can find resistance now, your 1272 resistance will be at 461.5. And yeah, that's the S&P 500 for the NASDAQ. This is also pretty much invalidating a bearish shark. It's still around the 1618 from B to D, but I don't know. It's kind of like the same thing here. I mean, previous all-time high is 15.4K, and then if you want to use Fibonacci for resistance, then you have the 1272 around 15,750 for the NASDAQ. So those are your large caps. In terms of mid caps and growth stocks, ARK ETF, we talked about this cup and handle. We even talked about this, where maybe it was back testing the breakout. If you go back to last week's streams, where we talked about we started talking about the cup and handle right on this candle on October 22nd, or maybe the 23rd or the 25th, which was the candle after. And then we bounced, and then we pulled back. The overall market was pulling back for a little bit, but I was saying maybe this is a back test of the breakout. And yeah, you have your break, your hook, and your go. Break, hook, and go for the ARK ETF. Next resistance is 126.26 from this candle high, from this candle high, from this candle open, from this candle high. So it's a pretty real resistance for the ARK ETF, 126.26. And yeah, your support is just this previous breakout zone for right now in the ARK. Also, first close above the 200-day moving average since September 7th, which is good to see. And we'll see how it reacts to 126, which is just under. And then the Russell 2000, we were talking about this. We talked about how the Russell 2000 was breaking out over here when I had like that speculation talk on the stream about speculative stocks. And then when the market pulled back, this kind of weirded me out a lot, I'm not gonna lie. And then pretty much like it never happened, it just went back up. So the Russell 2000 had the highest close since March today. And yeah, so you had a breakout, a little bit of a fake out back into the triangle, and then you broke out again, like for real. So 233.5 is kind of like that previous resistance. I would love to see it hold it tomorrow, but it's, you know, minimally under the current price. So I guess, you know, we could go above it, below it, whatever it is. But really close to all-time highs on the IWM, which is an ETF for the Russell. So 0.25% away from all-time highs. And yeah, I was honestly, I think I said this on stream, but I've been thinking for weeks now that the Russell's going to hit a new all-time high by the end of the year. So, I mean, doing 2.5% in one day is pretty good. And apart from that, the VIX just hanging down around 16. The dollar bouncing up a little bit off of a previous resistance area. And then the US 10-year kind of pulled back off of 164, which was a low from 2015. Yeah, 2015. So that's pretty much it for the overall market. Let me see what's in the chat, and then I guess we'll talk about Fisker and then CLOV. So what's up in the chat? FUBO was up 10%. Yeah, had a great day. I think it was up more at one point. What's up, Thomas, Keanu, Nerve? KTF says, yo, CV really trying to bag the 5 billion off altcoins so y'all get the sells. I mean, like, honestly, I can't even say that. Never mind. Yeah, I'm just gonna stop talking again. Yeah, EVs are Tesla went to what, 1200? Like, it's crazy what Tesla's done. And also, like, we'll just get to Tesla before we talk about Fisker. It's not the EV regardless, but like, just like in hindsight, and not even in hindsight, because we talked about it as it was happening, right? So this, you know, it's really not a perfect Wyckoff range by any means, but it looked Wyckoff-ian to me at the time. Pretty much, probably more similar to, not the first schematic. Was it schematic A and schematic B? I think it's more closer to the second one. Let's see if I could find it. All right, so it's schematic 1 and then schematic 2. Yeah, it's closer to the second schematic, and we talked about this in July, but it's like, I feel like I'm going crazy. Like, there's so many things I talk about on the stream that I don't know. I just really hope all of you are paying attention, because they just, like, unless I really post something on Twitter, on the Discord, it's like, I feel like nobody remembers. But I guess it is because we also talk about a lot of stuff on the stream, but like, I try to emphasize things a lot. But we talked about this in July when it was testing the 200-day moving average, right over here. Okay, so this is where we were talking about it, looking Wyckoff-ian to me. I think I even sent this to premium members in a watch list. But right there's when we were talking about Tesla looking Wyckoff-ian, and here you can see it was kind of looking like this to me, where you don't really have a spring in schematic 2, which is why I'm saying it's more like that. And you just kind of made those higher lows, and then look at this, even here, it was kind of testing like this breakout. It was kind of consolidating, as you could see right over there, and it sent it. Like, it's very Wyckoff-ian, kind of like reaccumulation rather than just regular accumulation. So I don't know if there's like a textbook reaccumulation schematic 2, but that's kind of what it looks like to me. And yeah, I mean, even as it was breaking 780, we were talking about Tesla. It was a high from April, a low from January, broke that, found resistance at the previous all-time highs, broke that, and then there was no resistance left. And highest close ever for Tesla today, first close above 1200 in history. So I don't know, you know, obviously there was a lot of catalysts here, but like months ago the technicals were lining up, and here's like the same exact scenario we see that we have seen many times this year. Like we saw with GameStop when I talked about it at 11, AMC when we were talking about it at 2, Fisker when we were talking about it at 15 before it went up to 32, QS when we were talking about it, I can't remember the price, but it went up like crazy after, CLOV when we were talking about it before the move, the all-time highs at the end of May. Like, just time and time again, you just see these technicals lining up, and it's just coincidence, boom, it goes crazy. Of course, that's not a certainty, but it's just like the crazy moves this year. Like, a lot of them had technicals indicated weeks or even like a month before, which is crazy to me. But speaking of EVs, what was I gonna say? So Rivian IPOs next week, I believe, and I actually made a video on Rivian months ago. I made it in June. It's on my channel. Just go on YouTube and search up Rivian Champion Vibe, and watch that video before Rivian IPOs next week. It's a really interesting company. Let me see if I can find the video. Yeah, if you just search up Rivian Champion Vibe, it'll be the first video that pops up. It's pretty much this. But yeah, made this video back in June. I looked like through their website and a couple other articles. Oh gosh, all right. Not trying to give away a free ad, but go watch that video if you want to know more about Rivian, which IPOs next week at an approximate $60 billion valuation, I believe. And then another EV, which we've been talking about, Polestar, which is GGPI. We talked about this on stream last week. It was probably Tuesday or Wednesday or something like that. I know one day, if you're a premium member, we did 200% profit on call options, and today hit new all-time highs after hours. So another one that I tried to bring up on the stream last week. It was literally the title of one of the streams and the thumbnail of one of the streams last week. And actually, that's incorrect. So I didn't see this. So not all-time highs. I guess it hit other highs. What's it called? And maybe after hours. This looks like it happened at 4. And this looks like it happened at 4. So not an all-time high, but I was looking at after hours and I was just kind of comparing because it was like 11:30 or something. And I was just comparing it to the regular chart. So one of the highest prices it's been at so far. So good stuff for Polestar, which we talked about last week. And moving forward with EVs. Vibes in the chat for Fisker hitting the first target. It was 1 cent away from hitting the target during market hours, but then after hours it went above the target by like 2 or 3%. So vibes in the chat for Fisker. Yet another legendary swing in the books. I mean, I can't even show the butterfly, which I have in a poster in my on a poster in my other room. But if you were here like last October, then you remember it. Pretty much it was this. This was the trade. And it was like 100% profit trade, but I didn't timestamp stuff on TradingView at that point. I only started that I think like January, and then so after this insane trade we had on Fisker, then we had the Wyckoff range. Summary is that wish I had multiple targets on this one, and then in May, I feel like this one's really just forgotten. I don't know, but the bullish butterfly with the classic bullish divergence in May. That hit both targets. Second target was a 65% gain. Of course, there were a couple failed ones in this area for sure, but the losses were nowhere near close to the percent gains from the winning trades. Let me skip that song. And then, yet again, we're back. First target achieved for another swing trade on Fisker. Vibes in the chat. 35% profit in I think a little bit over a month on this swing. And if it hits the second target, that'll be a 53% profit, pretty much $20 as the second target. And for Fisker, the auto show I think is towards the middle of the month. The LA auto show that they're going to be revealing like the production intent Fisker Ocean. So beautiful stuff on Fisker today. It was up 9%, and hopefully we got tendies going around on this one. So yeah, we talked about it. You know, it broke over the 200-day moving average, and then the second day after breaking over the 200-day moving average, boom. But like, again, TA is fake. This Fisker trade has not been at a loss since the day it was alerted. It's been in a profit every single day since the day it was alerted. So yeah, I didn't even get it at 12 because I was waiting for more confirmation, but then it started showing some nice volume when it was around 13, so I just shared it like right there, and boom. Danny White, thank you for a subscription. If you're not subscribed to the stream, hit the subscribe button right now. But yeah, you had classic bullish divergence, a bullish Scarlet at an ice line. You were here back in September. I don't even know what to say. Like, boom, there you go. 35% gains right there on Fisker. Second target's $20. Not super technical, just a psychological level mainly. It's a little bit above the C point, a little bit under the A point. There's really not any historical levels at 20. If there were a third target, it would probably be at 21.58, which was a high from July and a candle high from March 19th. So probably 21.58, and then after that you have 23.67 as your next resistance. Then I'd probably just use fibs and maybe even the previous all-time high. So we'll see how Fisker continues to do. It just got overbought on the daily after running up about 6. Wait, is that 15? That is, so 16. Let me just do it like this. After running up about 27% in 2 weeks, go figure why it's up, why the RSI is overbought. But also, we talked about this last week on stream, how it was breaking that supply line on the weekly. Like, there you go again. Hopefully, everybody's having fun. And yeah, that was Fisker. Great times. We're living the good days. So let me see what's in the chat before we talk about CLOV, and then we'll get back to the ongoing trades. Actually, CLOV is now an ongoing trade, so never mind. We can kind of just do everything. We did Fisker, which is an ongoing trade, and now CLOV is one too, so it's actually a part of them today, as of today. So let's move over to that chart. Linda Glenn says bought and sold some CLOV calls for 25% profits today. Getting a hang of these options. Let's go, Linda Glenn. Really glad to hear that. Yeah, shared some CLOV calls with premium members in the morning. Those went up 25% intraday. Added to the list of the calls that we've played in the last 2 or 3. At this point, it's the 10th month of it's the 11th month now. Wow, all-time high was in June. So add to the list of the calls we've done in the last 4 or 5 months. Like it's I don't even know how many it is at this point. Yeah, join the Discord if you're not in it. The link's in the description. Hit the like button. Let's get to 40 likes right now. And yeah, just check out all the links in the description. Chatter Freeze also dropped the Discord link in the chat. All right, so let's talk about CLOV. So CLOV. Actually, let me play a clip first. Let me pause the music. Yeah, but yeah, this is a right-angled descending broadening wedge or formation, okay, which means you have a downsloping demand line, as you can see over here, and you have a supply zone at the top. This is a bullish reversal pattern. Actually, I don't know if it's a reversal. It could be a continuation if it happens after run up as well, but it's a bullish pattern. I don't think it's broken out of it just yet. I think pretty much above 765 would be a breakout of this. So yeah, and one other thing that you really want to look for a lot of the time with these patterns is a partial decline, which would look something like this. Let's say it sells off one more time and then it bounces like randomly, like right there. Partial decline is pretty much, you know, when in a pattern you go up to your resistance zone or supply line and you fall back down, but you don't fall all the way back down to your demand line. That's called a partial decline. You only partially declined. You didn't decline all the way to the previous area of demand, which shows that there is now a higher floor of demand, which once you get back up to that resistance gives you about a 70% chance of breaking to the upside. It does not have a partial decline for now, and it doesn't need a partial decline to break to the upside. I'm just saying that's something I see very often with right angle descending broadening wedges or formations that increases it. Also, just very visual, you could see there's a rounding bottom here. It's not a cup and handle on the 15-minute because you do not have a handle the upside. Gives you about a 70% chance of breaking to the upside. It does not have a so that pretty much happened. Get the bingo cards out, I guess. But yeah, so we talked about this last week, like literally this exact scenario last week. Yeah, got your partial decline as we were talking about. This is a 15-minute chart. Let's get that started off. All right, this is only a 15-minute chart, so still just it's a 15-minute chart. Just keep that in mind. It's not a daily chart, but we talked about that last week. We got our partial decline. 29th was what, Friday? Yeah, so on Friday, which I didn't stream on Friday night, or I didn't even stream last night, so I couldn't really talk about it. We got a partial decline. And this morning, actually, I told premium members when CLOV was testing this area that there was a 70% chance of CLOV breaking out of this pattern today because we had the partial decline, as I said on the stream last week. And what happened? We finally broke out. We got confirmation. And even intraday, not only did we break out, we broke it, we back tested it, we tested it again, and then we went up again. Like so, break, hook, hook, and go. So break, hook, and go. So just another example of TA being fake there. But yeah, and I did also say on that stream that, and I've been saying on stream, 785 is next level. It got to 784 today. You know, we talked about 785 last week on stream. I don't know if it was in that clip or not, but that's this gap fill over here. And then on the daily, it's the low from July 27th and August 5th. Kind of even the low from these 2 days before it gapped down and had like a down 5% red, down 5% red day. I don't know, but yeah. So that played out. But what were we also talking about apart from this right angle descending broadening wedge? This. Okay, and I was talking about I think the Gartley, but that got invalidated. It turned into a Bartley. I don't know if I saw that on my chart. I do. So we were talking about the Gartley at the 786, right over here, and it just went down to the 886, and that's where it reversed. But I did notice you just look at it a little bit differently. Could have just been looked at as a shark. And since the PCZ of that bullish shark, it's up 8%. And yeah, I was saying at 7:30, I even put out a tweet last week. Price was around 7:30 on CLOV. I said, looks like it's putting in a local bottom to me on low time frames, and there you go. And again, this is not me trying to give myself validation. It's just like everything that's technically indicated, it's happening. It's just crazy to me. I keep going on social media and seeing like, oh, it's manipulated, technicals don't work. It's because a lot of the people that you're following are showing you incorrect technicals and they don't know what they're doing. You know, just think about it that way. And I'm not saying every single technical thing I've shared on CLOV has been right, but like time and time again, if you just really know what you're doing, regardless of all the manipulation that so many people want to talk about, to me, it's just been pretty clear. And again, these are low time frames, and there hasn't been a recent swing on CLOV. I've just been playing the low time frames with premium members, and I think premium members can all attest to this. We've done a really good job, even today. But now this bounce on lower time frames is starting to help out those higher time frames, and that's what we're really focused on for the sake of the stream, swing trading, rather than low time frames and day trading and stuff like that. So first off, on the 4-hour, we were talking about this as well last week, the potential for hidden bullish divergence. We now have confirmed hidden bullish divergence on the 4-hour for CLOV. We were also talking about these Bollinger Bands where yet again, how many times do I have to pull this up on the stream? It was at that lower Bollinger Band on the 4-hour chart. And I mean, I'm just gonna do circles, it's just way quicker. But how many times have we seen this? Lower Bollinger Band on the 4-hour tested, being a bottom. Like we've looked at this so many different times on the stream, and there you go yet again. So just a lot of examples of TA being completely fake, as everybody wants to talk about. And yeah, so those are your lower time frames. And it actually, JG, who's a premium member, I think has been talking about this for days, but I was waiting for the candle close, like for the confirmation, which is why I shared the idea like right at the close. And again, it was an option, so there's after hours. So yeah, I was just waiting for the confirmation to see if we actually gonna be closing above that supply line. And it did have a breakout of this supply line today. You have 3 touches on this, actually 4 touches. September 7th, October 14th, October 20th, and October 28th. So you have about 4 touches on that supply line. It broke out of it today with bullish convergence on the daily. So you have bullish divergence on the 4-hour, which means the oscillators are doing the opposite thing as the price, or at least the MACD is. And on the daily, you have convergence, which means both the MACD and the price made a higher low. And then apart from that, you've roughly bounced off the same level for like the 4th time in a row on the RSI, like 36, 30, 35 to 37, like this little level. This was the same level it bounced off of right over here in May before the move to all-time highs. And it's been bouncing off that RSI level since May. Even on July 16th, RSI got back down to that level, had a 20% bounce. On this low, RSI was at 39, so a little bit higher, but obviously that was a 50% bounce in 20 days that nobody cared about. And then just recently, October 4th, I mean, how much was I talking about this when it was happening? This little 3 days we were at this bottom area. We had the Back to the Future stream a little bit before that. I was talking about the classic bullish divergence on the daily. I think there was like a butterfly and an alternate bat on the 1-hour, and then obviously we got that bounce as well, which was a 20% bounce like there. So now we have technicals showing up on higher time frames again, and obviously that's been the case for the past couple of weeks where we just haven't. So I've not really been talking much about CLOV because there wasn't much to talk about. You know, there really wasn't any technicals to be talking about. There weren't any catalysts. The volume was dry. So now we're starting to see some more stuff a week before earnings. So keep in mind, obviously, just like all these swings, this is not financial advice. And again, if you're in CLOV as a long term, this is a swing. You know, you can trade CLOV or invest in CLOV or not, however you want to. I'm not telling you what to do. I do a little bit of everything, as I've said multiple times on the stream. So yeah, shared this today. Stop is at, again, this is only technical based, not fundamentals. I know there's a lot of people that watch the streams that are very fundamental long-term investors in CLOV. This has nothing to do with that or with you. Okay, so just like all my other swings, like we just had on Fisker and GameStop, it's just a swing. It's separate. But Just like any other swing, I set it up the way I'd set all of my swings up. Not financial advice. You do whatever you want with your own money. But I threw the stop under this low and this low around 683. Entry's just pretty much here because that's where it closed out after the breakout. Of course, it's, you know, tomorrow it's going to be opening right under supply because that 785 level is your closest supply or just resistance. So, you know, there might be a little bit of frustration here and then you break above it. It really probably depends on the volume. If you have a high volume morning tomorrow morning, maybe you just break right above it. But if it can clear this 785 level, then you got 820, which is this zone that we were talking about like in the beginning of the month. Breaks 820, I think it's going to 9. I don't know, but I think it could go towards, you know, the mid $9 area if it breaks over 820. Obviously not in like, you know, not in a snap of a finger, but eventually. And yeah, you know, so first target was just under that 200-day moving average and that 945 resistance. You can see from this candle high, and that candle high and this candle open. Second target was around $11, which is just under the high that it put in September. And then third target was right on 1320, which is a low from January and a high from last September. And actually we did swing trade this move for those of you who were here back in January. It was like a perfect swing. So yeah, if it gets above 1320, I mean, that's where it, really between 1320 and 17, there's just not a lot. But again, we're at 7 right now. Just take it day by day. And remember, earnings are next week. That can completely override technicals. They could help out the technicals a ton. They could ruin the technicals. So you have to keep that in mind. Do whatever you want with your own money. And yeah, that's a new idea for CLOV. I'm gonna be completely honest. Like, we've done an amazing job in premium trading calls on CLOV. I don't know the actual stat anymore because I need to track it again. But you know, in this whole entire downtrend, CLOV's dropped what, 75%, and we've had a really good win rate trading calls on CLOV. However, I don't think we've won a swing in this downtrend. I mean, obviously, so not too easy to win a swing in this type of a condition. So yeah, I'm gonna be honest there. So I don't know. Hopefully this one breaks the trend, but prior to that, we had amazing swings in this whole entire area. Let me make it green actually, or blue. In this whole area, we had a lot of great swings back in January and February, March, and even in May. So yeah, we'll see. But that's CLOV. Hit that like button if you didn't already. We can take a look at trading ticks for a second. Got some call sweeps for November and December. Even had some 15 strikes, only 28K in premiums though. And we could go look at the actual options data. We got almost 70 people in here, but only 34 likes. That's just not adding up to me. I don't know. But let's take a look at CLOV on the options dashboard. On trading ticks, if it'll load. There we go. So this is what I'm interested in. You could see that call volume's been going up between Friday and today, and the open interest. Another thing, we remember when we talked about this, it was like literally at the bottom. I don't remember, I think it was August, maybe around August 20th or something, but we've been talking about that historical IV rank. You can't see it because the chat's blocking right now, but it is toward, it's just coming off the bottom right now. It was at the bottom, I guess, last week. And let's see, I haven't looked at this in forever. I'm gonna be completely honest, there really isn't much of a change from what I remember. So still not a lot of options activity compared to what it used to be. I mean, there was a time when you had over 100,000 open interest on some of these strikes. But yeah, not too much of a change there. So that's CLOV. There we go. Those are the 40 likes I was waiting on. So we talked about Fisker, CLOV. Talk about another swing. Boom, GameStop, 3 days, 19% profit. Don't know how else to put it. I mean, perfect. Like literally perfect trade. I'm gonna pat myself on the back for this one. Like, I shared this on this day at the low of the day. Since I've shared this swing, it's not been at a loss. Like literally right here on this red candle at the low was the entry 3 days ago. And we talked about it on stream for 3 days in a row. The double bottom after the Garley. Shout out to Mitch Ray and Tar Heel Blue for spotting this when it hit that first low. I was just waiting for more confirmation. Somewhat bullish divergence. It's really technically convergence, but it's about the same low on price, so maybe class B. And testing the 200-day moving average around the demand line of a triangle. We talked about that it was testing the breakout of a triangle at the end of last week, and there you go. Yet again, TA is being super fake. I'm sure a lot of people on CNBC will find some sort of news to relate to this, and there actually might have been some news for GameStop today. I genuinely don't know, but regardless of what happened, there was days ago when we were looking at technicals for an entry before any news came out, and that gives you a better margin, right? So it just depends on how you look at things, but hopefully also some of you enjoyed this swing as well. 19% profit in a few days on GameStop. At this point, from a technical standpoint, it just had its highest close since September 17th. There really isn't much resistance until the second target. Hopefully it gets there. If not, already hit the first target. In terms of support, a little bit iffy. I mean, maybe like 190-ish, 188, 189, 190. I could chart it. It's a couple of resistances from May, and there was even resistance in October. Kind of maybe that could be support if it pulls back. BENE, I showed this as a 15-minute chart, so the technicals are completely different. I did mention this last week on stream for this SPAC, which is like a hydrogen energy type of play. So from a technical standpoint, what I was looking at here just got invalidated. Just honestly, the swing's down 5-6%. So at this point, it just turns into, do you like, and I believe it's also a rumor, do you like the rumored company or not? You know, so just a big difference since the alert. Just that's just how it goes sometimes. Had a nice little pop on this day. It was up like 20. It had like a 10% pop, but at this point, it's really technicals don't really mean much anymore. I guess you might have some classic bullish divergence on the 15, but like at this point, it's just look into the rumored company and do your own research. That's really all I can say for this one for now. XELA was flat today, so really no update to give on that. I mean, we can just look at the chart if there's anything. Might. It's just in the same area, just going sideways. I just want to see if it can get above 6 before breaking below 520. VIPS is up 7% today, so the swing is currently 4% in profit again. It's going to go up, it's going to go down. It's a weekly bat that I'm keeping my focus on. All it really matters is where it ends up. So for now, it's in profit, which is good. NEO, which really frustrated me last week when it got like less than 1% away from the target on this day. Pulled back, but then today it bounced up, had a 4% day and a bullish engulfing candle. And yeah, hopefully you can close above 40.62 tomorrow. That's really it for NEO. Trip was flat, so not much to talk about there. Just going sideways, and that's really the ongoing trades. So yeah, what a day. It's just crazy. Remember, I mean, the fear and greed index, according to CNN, which they do track a lot of different things, it's at extreme greed right now. So, you know, just keep in mind the market did just go up like almost 7, or the S&P just went up 7% in a very short amount of time. So, you know, this is the times where, in a lot of, you know, new traders who were kind of probably selling the lows of the market in September are probably starting to think, oh my gosh, the market's finally reversing, and they're probably FOMOing in here. And again, you know, this market could definitely go higher. Trend is definitely your friend. I'm just saying, like, always take a step back. Don't get, you know, I know the action is really, really hot right now in the small cap market especially, but always, you know, just stay as neutral as possible. Not like in terms of your thesis, but just in terms of your emotions, you know. Don't be fearful. Don't be greedy. Even when things are going horrible or things are going really good, just try and keep your emotions the same. Regardless of if you had an amazing day in the market or a horrible day in the market, it's just another day in the market. So yeah, that's my thoughts and everything. It took me about 40 minutes. Keep hitting that like button if you're not in the Discord. The link's in the description, and you're missing out. And if you're not in the Discord, you're just missing out. There's everything's in the Discord, like literally. Also, if you're not subscribed to the stream, our subscriber growth not been too good in the past month. October was, I think, one of the worst months since I've started streaming for new subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, help me out. And yeah, all the links are in the description. The free course, which is 3.5 hours long. If you want to join premium, that link is in the description. Everything's in the description. All right. Futures. Russell futures are up a little bit. NASDAQ and S&P futures are down a little bit. Nothing too crazy though. But yeah, we got 66 people in here. I said, how is everybody doing? Say what's up in the chat. Drop some vibes if you're feeling the vibes. Hit the like button. Yeah, let's see how much I missed in the chat. Let's just talk to just talk to all of you for a little bit. Medi's been seeing some success with Bollinger Bands. For a lot of maybe like newer viewers in the chat, a lot of people who are like joking about TA being a myth, like they're being sarcastic. They're like members of the Discord and stuff. So I think I'm looking at some confusion in the chat where I think maybe some newer people in chat were thinking people were like hating on TA and stuff. Those are all people like in the Discord, like they're just messing around. Thomas says, are the risk reward boxes also time-based? And no, they are not. You know, I have been asked that a few times where people think like, you know, the longer I make that, which means I'm hoping it'll go to the target by like April of 2020. Like, no, like don't focus on that at all. I'll mark short-term, mid-term, or long-term on the swings just based on how volatile the ticker is, how much of a potential move I could see to either direction. And that's really it. You know, the boxes, the width of them just depends on how they visually look on my chart when I want to take a screenshot of it. So it has nothing to do with the time. Fair question though. Max says, do you use automatic stops that you can set on trades in TD Ameritrade, or do you manually sell once trade hits stop loss? I used to use, we'll call it physical stops for a while, but I got stop punted a bunch, so I stopped. Now I use mental stops, and I just set alerts at my stop losses. But you know, the way I look at it is, if you're having trouble committing to your stop loss, not financial advice, but if you can't take a loss when you're at your stop as a trader, you need to reevaluate. Stops are a part of trading, and I'm not sure, not all traders will say that, but most good traders that I know will say that. Let me put it like that. So, and again, I'm doing this again, Max, I'm not speaking directly at you. I do this all the time. Somebody asks a regular question in the chat and I start ranting about some other stuff. I'm just trying to explain myself further, not talking to you, Max, directly. But in general, the way I look at it, again, not financial advice, is if you don't have a problem cutting your loss when it's time to cut your loss, mental stops could be useful because you're not going to get stopped, or you still could stop hunt yourself, I guess, but it's a little bit harder for you to get stop hunted. But yeah, you need to have better emotions if you're going to be using mental stops, and then also you need to be a lot more flexible in terms of your schedule throughout the day. Otherwise, you might come back, you know, if you had a really busy day and something, your stop loss alert set off on TradingViewer, TOS, or Webull, but you just couldn't actually stop yourself out. So, and then vice versa, you know, if you have a very busy schedule during the day and you really have issues committing to your stop loss because you get fearful when something's at your stop, maybe a physical stop is better for you, but also maybe take a look at what your position size is. If you're getting freaked out every time one of your trades gets towards a stop loss, maybe the position's a little bit weird. Again, none of that was financial advice. It really depends on you and how you trade and what's best for you. I'm just speaking in terms of how I feel. Also, shout out the True Trading Group. That's kind of where I learned a lot more about stop losses. And yeah. Lindsay Glenn, I was pretty busy this morning, so I just really couldn't answer a lot of stuff today in chat. Sorry about that. Thank you, Chef Daddy Trader. I've been doing well. Max says, been here for a while and the amount of education Champ provides is crazy. ... One of the best at what he does. All vibes. Appreciate it, Max. Lindsay Glance is kind of a technical question. It was about decay of options prices based off volatility crush after earnings. Yeah, I missed that. Sorry. But optionsprofitcalculator.com is a pretty good website for that. Also, there's a video in the course, links in the description, and I talk about options for like an hour in that course. And yeah. This website. So kind of pull up something like this when you use it. I don't know their actual formulas and how they calculate everything. This is very popular and there's a bunch of different resources. But always the answer, rather than, it's just how I view things, rather than looking for automation and shortcuts and stuff, just number one way to start, you know, doing things is just learning about, you know, the actual formulas behind the Greeks and theta, which all those are also available online. Lindsay Glenn says, yeah, I use that a lot, but wasn't sure if volatility crush was factored since they don't have future knowledge reports. Yeah, that definitely could be something to think about. All right, so whoa, I stopped talking about likes. Now we're at 60 likes, so I'm not even gonna say anything. All right, I'm just gonna say thank you. I don't know. Hopefully, just the YouTube algorithm can just be better. All right, let's do take a request for a little bit. If you want me to look at it, take or drop in the chat. Nothing I say is financial advice. Don't request anything up over 30% today. Don't request anything that IPO within the last month. Do not request OTCs. And what was I going to say? Completely forgot. I'm not probably going to be able to look at every single one of the takers in the chat. Just saying that I have time. If I miss yours, I'm sorry. I stream, you know, 5 nights a week, so you can just catch another stream or just join the Discord and ask around in the Discord, where 2,000 other people can help you out. YT Cool says, in my opinion, have 2 days a week of exclusive crypto TA. The thing here is, I started learning technicals and trading with crypto. I've talked about that on stream before, but I just kind of fell into stocks a little bit more. And we start off every single stream talking about Bitcoin, and if we have any ongoing crypto swings, we talk about those. And people are always welcome to ask for cryptos when we do take requests, or tip $3 while I'm talking to request a crypto. So I don't know, it's just, I guess the majority of the stream I do talk about stocks, so I guess the algorithm kind of shares it to people who are more interested in stocks. And also a lot of you who watch the stream are probably just more interested in stocks, but there's nothing, I don't ever try to block out crypto. It's just kind of the environment's been made more for stocks, I guess, just like naturally over time. But I always look at cryptos whenever I see them when we're doing take requests. So I don't know, maybe we could just try a little bit more of including crypto into the stream. I guess. I'm just keeping it to 1 taker per person for right now. All right, let's get started. TPIC. It says earnings are on the 10th, according to TradingView. But from a technical standpoint, I'm a fan of it. Doesn't mean it's gonna go up for sure, but you can see this zone over here. It was a resistance in 2018. 2019, 2020, then it turned into a support at the end of 2020, and you just bounced off this zone 2 times in a row, which equals potential double bottom like that, and your neckline of the double bottom would be 3660, and then on top of that might be breaking out of a wedge here as well. You could probably chart a little bit differently than I did, but you can kind of see that. If it went down to the 786, this would be an insane. If it went down to like right here and had the same variables, that would be insane. I don't know, maybe you could try and find like another harmonic as well, but that's what I got for this one. And yeah, we'll see how earnings go. Shopify broke out of a descending broadening wedge, had a nice move, then it fell down to the 200-day moving average, It's had a nice move off of that recently. This whole entire zone is resistance. 1500 to 1650. Break above 1650, then you could just use fibs. For resistances, 1272 would be 1750-ish. 1618 would be around just under 1900. In terms of support, clear support I see is around 1329-ish. It was even a resistance over here. Kind of like I'd say like the 1200 to 1300 area is support, and then 1500 to 1650 is resistance, and we're closer to that resistance for right now. That Shopify. EVGO, I don't know if Killer Roo requested this. No, Chef Hey Trader, but Killer Roo would always ask about this. It eventually did end up going up, which is nice. So these are your levels. You're approaching a resistance at 1073. If it breaks that, your 200-day moving average just appeared around 1223. That's really all I got, just levels for right now. PayPal dropping into a support zone from the end of last year and beginning of this year. If it can't hold it, then I think there's room back down to like 211. If it can hold it, then resistance is all the way up at like 260 to 270. And that's really about it. SAVA was up 7% today. Probably look at it like this, maybe a little bit of a descending broadening wedge, and maybe a potential double bottom or reaction low and potential reversal low after hitting the PCZ of a bullish shark. So I just want to see it hold above the mid 40s, and you're really, between 50 and 60, there's not a lot of resistance. It's just a question of, can it get above 50 before falling under the mid 40s? FUBO was up 11% today, approaching the top of this kind of, I'd say, range, which is around 34. That's your resistance. If it breaks it, there's room up to fill the gap at 39. In terms of support, the low 30s to upper 20s is kind of your supports where you're consolidating before the break up today. It's also around your 200-day moving average. So that's pretty simple. Intel, just not a lot of data after this gap down on earnings, so I just need more data. Remember, I always talk about this. After something has a big gap up or down, all the technicals before that gap, I don't really look at it anymore. I look at the candles after the gap. So it's going to take some time for it to fill up data. Hopefully it doesn't go left. But for it to fill up data, for me to get a new technical view, at least on the daily and the 4 hour. And again, I'm just sticking to these time frames for the stream. Apple, we talked about this when it was breaking that 145, handed it out to all of you on the stream saying look for a move to 149. It happened within like 3 days that week. Hopefully somebody paid attention then, and it ended up showing resistance right where I thought it would at 149. I don't know if there was like a catalyst on this day, but ended up having like a nice bounce day over here up to like 153, and then it just came I think it gapped up like on the 28th, and then it gapped down on Friday. Actually, I don't know where it opened. Let's the open. Yeah, the open had to be right here. So that's weird. It closed all the way up here at 152.5, and then it opened the next day at 147. I don't know if I'm looking at that the wrong way. And then a doji candle today. So your resistance is 150. Major support's 145. If you break above 150, then you have 153 as resistance. You break above that, then you have 157. That's really it for Apple right now. XELA, kind of bouncing off of that support area or just gap area. You have some resistance just above you. Really, 215s are resistance from this low and this high, and then you have your 200-day moving average and this candle's high. Like this whole entire area is kind of resistance. If you break above it, then there's a room to the gap fill like 250. Break above that, and you got 272, 284 from these lows. A bunch of different levels, and then supports just like the mid $1 area. SHIB. Looks like it broke out of like this triangle to me. It just broke out yesterday night. Broke out of that triangle, and now it's just kind of going sideways. I would just like to see it hold above 0.0000057. I guess it's at 0.000069. But it's all over the place. AFRM. Support is like 146 from the previous all-time high, and then this candle low, and then this candle low. There's just not much TI can do after that crazy run. I could see it going either way. I don't really see much of like an edge. NNDM broke out of the supply line. I like it above 535. Just a question of if it can hold above it or not. Like, honestly, there's not a lot of resistance up to the 200-day moving average at $8. You got a little bit at like 692, and then after that, 8's possible. Oh, even looking back in time, 692 was kind of a resistance. So if you can get above like this little zone right here, there's definitely room higher. I mean, potentially. But 535 is a support I'd like to see it hold. RCL. Nice. Broke a supply line. A lot of these travel stocks are showing some very interesting technicals. I was scanning over the weekend and I definitely noticed a bunch. So RCL breaking back above this $85 level after breaking out of a wedge. Nice day today. Not much resistance to like 93. Good day. Just hopefully it can, and it was even testing 200-day moving average. Hopefully it could just hold that around 83. So that's RCL. Futures still are pretty flat. NASDAQ futures are down about 0.5% though. Bitcoin's at 61.4K. And yeah. Have a good one, Maxime. I'm tired. So yeah, I don't know. We still got 60 people in here, which is crazy. It doesn't feel like it though, because nobody's really, I mean, there are people talking in the chat, but there's definitely not 60 people talking in the chat. Tenderfoot says, TA reading the tea leaves for profit and risk management. Hard to gain reliable perspective. Another way impressive, bro. The tea leaves part kind of threw me off, but I think, thank you. I think, appreciate it, Tenderfoot. So yeah, those are a bunch of different takers. We can look at a few more, but keep hitting that like button. Let's get to 70 likes. Join the Discord, links in the description. Like, genuinely, I just want all of you to be insanely rich within a couple of years. That's just my goal. So whether you want to join the Discord, or you want to join premium, or you want to watch the streams every night, or you want to watch the free course in the description, I just want to make as many resources as possible. And also just posting on Twitter, like, I want to make so many resources that no matter what you choose works best for you, I want to be able to help out everybody. You know, that's just my goal. It's obviously a really tough goal, you know, but we'll see. Yeah, we got some more takers to look at. But seriously, like, all of you need to start putting in time. You need to start learning. I'm by no means a master at trading. I mess up all the time. But everybody needs to keep learning. Like, I'm gonna be like straightforward right now. If you're waking up every single day, going on social media, following some random person on the internet, no matter how much money you see them making, and you're not actually spending time to learn yourself, you're not stupid, but you could be a lot smarter. That's all I'm gonna say. So I need all of you to start putting in time. I don't care how busy your schedule is. I know everybody's busy, but you can find half an hour, 25 minutes, 15 minutes a day. Just learn more and literally change your life forever. I don't know if it's worth it to you. Sounds worth it to me. But I just want to make as many resources as possible for all of you to be able to do that. Do you trade altcoins often? I used to trade them more than stocks, but not that much anymore. However, if you stick around for a couple of weeks, I might make a nice video about one. Or not. If my research just doesn't really add up over the course of the next couple of weeks, then all this will kind of be for nothing. But that's just how research is, I guess. But yeah, if you didn't see my tweet from earlier, it's really like, honestly, like this thing that I'm researching, like it could be big. Like it'll definitely, if it does happen, if it gets confirmed, it's going to be trending on Twitter, like 99%. I just don't want to talk about it until, there's no way I can know I'm right until it happens. But I don't want to talk about it until I have like a much more solid thesis. It's a pretty loose thesis right now. I just need to connect a lot of pieces together. We'll leave it at that for now. And I know I keep bringing it up myself and I keep saying I'm going to leave it at that. I guess I just want to make it suspenseful. I don't know. So yeah. There's really no technical change on XL today, Max. It's just still going sideways. I already looked at it. I just want to see it break above 6 before breaking under 520. But yeah, keep hitting the like button. And if you haven't checked out the links in the description, then you should. I'm just going to pick and choose a couple here. I'm not going to be able to look at all of them. Again, just join the Discord if I missed your ticker and just ask for it in the chats. I don't even know which safe move to look at, so I'm just going to skip that. Sorry, Big Nate. And also, there's a lot of these like cryptos that, unless I know about, like especially the newer ones, like if it's, I don't know if Coinbase has listed SafeMoon, like if none of the major exchanges have like listed them, like I always want to be able to do research on those coins before I talk about them on my stream, because there's been some crazy coins, like, and crazy in a bad way over the past months, but even in the last like 48 hours, if you saw what happened with the Squid Game coin or whatever that was, like, do your research always. And again, that's not directed towards anybody in the chat, I'm just saying in general. I know there's a lot of those smaller coins that have also gone insane, you know, in a good way. So it's I don't know. Wish, it's just kind of going sideways for now. I mean, I would just like to see it eventually get back above 620. Until then, it's like, it's just a waiting game, in my opinion. 620 is that first big level. It was a low from over here, high from over here, high from over here. I'd like to see it above 620 for me to like this chart better. MT, support at 32.67, resistance at 36.38, and then 37, and pretty much like 36 to 38 is a resistance historically. If it breaks above that, let me go over to the weekly. If it breaks above like, you know, this resistance, then there's not a lot of resistance between like 38 and 53 historically. Look, straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down. Like, let me just make it a little bit less confusing. This is the one, it broke over 37, it went to 53. It broke under 53, it went down to 37. It broke back above it, it went to 54. Over here, it rejected it, went all the way back down. Now it's testing it again. So that was probably really confusing, but those are your big levels. And nice rounding bottom on the weekly as well. I don't know if I call it a cup and handle for now, but certainly rounding bottom. Maybe you want to look at this as like the handle. It's a very small handle, but could be argued. QNT kind of just looks like a range between 260 and 330 to me for now. So yeah, still got 50 people in here. Be here again tomorrow night at 9 p.m. EST. This was a great stream. I really appreciate all the support. If you're not subscribed to the stream, I'm gonna ask you 5 times, okay? Subscribe, 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 subscribe. Okay, most of the people you watch on YouTube only ask you 1 time. I went out of my way to ask you 5 times. So if you're still not subscribing, then I can't help you, you know? Just hit the subscribe button. That's 6 times now. And yeah, thank you for 70 likes. I'll see you all in the Discord, and I'll be live again tomorrow. I don't know for sure if I'm gonna be live. It's either me or Mehdi. We'll see. I'll let you know in the Discord who's gonna be live and when. And yeah, we'll figure it all out. There we go, Danger. I appreciate it. I hate ending the stream when there's still like 50 people in here. It's just been a super long day. But yeah, there's always another stream. And yeah. All right, have a good night, everybody. Peace out. One last thing. Chef Dad Trader says, Champion Vibe, you just made me laugh. Think I'm as tired as you, but have a great one, and thanks for all you do. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Support Chef Daddy Trader.
the sun shines alone, ain't no need to go home. We lost our childish ways, our daydreams came upon, so where have we gone? No need to move away, we got a place to stay, cause we don't need the lights over Paris nights. Never mind the time, together we get high. We will build our own little paradise, paradise. Little paradise. Little paradise. I'm feeling strange today, but when you stay by my side, colors shine bright, it feels like spring to me. When we're lost and alone, I know we had home. Where have we gone? No need to move away, we got a place to stay, cause we don't need the lights over Paris nights. Never mind the time, together we get high. We will build our own little paradise, paradise. Little paradise. Little paradise. All of the nightmares I had never came back with you by my side. Oh, you made me decide what I wanted in life was a paradise. No need to move